For over 3 centuries, one elite unit stood at the heart of Roman power, a force originally created to protect the emperor, that eventually would become powerful enough to make and destroy emperors of their choice. This is the story of the Praetorian Guard, their rise, their fall into corruption, and their violent end. 27 BC, formation under Augustus. The idea wasn't new. Roman generals had long kept personal guards, the cohors praetoria, loyal soldiers who protected commanders in the field. In 27 BC, the first emperor Augustus formalized the concept. He created 9 cohorts of elite soldiers handpicked from the Roman army. Members of the Praetorian Guard accompanied Augustus on his campaigns, policed the streets of Rome, and served as the emperor's personal bodyguards. They were handsomely rewarded for their service, often earning 3 times that of a legionary. Additionally, members of the guard received bonus packages, called donativum, when important events relating to the emperor or the country occurred. This often included births or marriages within the imperial family. However, the Praetorians were heavily disliked within Rome, due to their power and influence on the city's law and order. They would often clash with local rioters and citizens in the streets of Rome. Under Augustus, the Praetorians subdued revolts in Pannonia, near modern-day Hungary, and Germania. Following Augustus's passing in AD 14, the new emperor Tiberius would appoint a certain man as Praetorian prefect, a move he would come to regret. AD 14, Sejanus and the Castra Praetoria. Under Emperor Tiberius, the Praetorian Guard's prefect, Lucius Aelius Sejanus, rose in power, becoming one of the emperor's sole confidants. He gathered all 9 cohorts of the Praetorian Guard into a fortress on Rome's outskirts, called Castra Praetoria. At the same time, Sejanus supported Tiberius's heir apparent, Germanicus. When Germanicus unexpectedly died in AD 19, Sejanus feared Tiberius's son, Drusus, would become the next emperor. To prevent this, he poisoned Drusus and purged his supporters. He then attempted to persuade the aging Tiberius into making him the next heir to the throne. His plot would nearly succeed, but in AD 31, his actions would be discovered. Tiberius would later have him executed by the cohortes urbanae, the urban police of Rome. Sejanus would be the first of many prefects to exploit the emperor for his own benefits. AD 41, the Praetorians choose an emperor. In AD 41, Tiberius' successor, Caligula, was assassinated by members of the Praetorian Guard. Caligula was deeply despised by both the Senate and Praetorian Guard for his extravagant spendings and depraved personality. Amidst the chaos, the Guard found Caligula's uncle, Claudius, hiding behind a curtain. They didn't arrest him or kill him. They proclaimed him the next emperor. Needing a puppet emperor who would support the Praetorian Guard's actions, they chose him. And it worked. Upon his ascension to emperor, he rewarded the Guard with a bonus worth 5 times their yearly salary and took the Guard with him into Britain. For the first time in Rome's history, an emperor was appointed by the Praetorians. After Claudius was poisoned, the Guard would later transfer their allegiance to their new emperor, the now infamous Nero. AD 69, the year of the 4 emperors. Under Nero, 2 Praetorian prefects, Tigellinus and Sabinus, would convince the Praetorian Guard to betray Nero in favor of his competitor Galba. Sabinus had promised his men 7,500 denarii each. However, Galba had refused to pay. In the confusion, Galba's rival Otho bribed the remaining Praetorians into proclaiming him emperor. Galba would later be killed by the Praetorian Guard, elevating Otho to emperor. Later that year, Otho would be challenged by Vitellius, a commander who was proclaimed emperor in Germania. After a battle between Vitellius's army and the Praetorian Guard, the Guard would be defeated and their centurions put to death. Vitellius would later replace the centurions with his own men. In the same year, Vespasian, a commander in Rome's east, would challenge Vitellius for the throne. The recently defeated Praetorian Guard took the opportunity to betray Vitellius in favor of Vespasian, and eventually help install Vespasian as emperor, establishing the Flavian dynasty. AD 98, Pax Romana, a time of peace. By the year 98, Rome had entered the prime of Pax Romana, a period of relative peace and prosperity within the Roman Empire. The Praetorian Guard supported Emperor Trajan in his conquests in Mesopotamia and the Rhine. Under Trajan, the Roman Empire had reached its territorial peak. During Pax Romana, the Praetorian Guard would accompany their current emperor in his campaigns across the Roman Empire. AD 192, Selling of the Throne. In the year AD 192, Emperor Commodus would be betrayed and assassinated in a plot devised by his Praetorian prefect, Quintus Aemilius Laetus. The new emperor, Pertinax, who was also involved in Commodus's killing, would reward the Praetorian Guard with 3,000 denarii each. The Praetorian Guard would kill Pertinax just 3 months later, as retaliation for not further increasing their wages. Shockingly, instead of announcing a new emperor, the Praetorians decided to put the role of emperor up for auction. This would be purchased by politician Didius Julianus, who would be killed just 3 months later by soldiers of the future emperor Septimius Severus. Like Vitellius, Severus would dissolve the guard and have its members replaced by his own men. Under Severus, the Praetorian Guard would fight in the Battle of Lyons and accompany the emperor into Britannia until his death in AD 211. In AD 217, Severus's son and successor, Caracalla, would be betrayed and killed by his Praetorian prefect, Macrinus, as retaliation for killing his own brother and co-emperor Geta. After Caracalla's death, the Praetorians would assassinate the next emperor, Elagabalus, in favor of his cousin Severus Alexander. 3rd century AD and eventual dissolution. The Praetorian Guard would be deployed into active service during the crisis of the 3rd century under Emperor Maximinus Thrax. In the spring of 238, Thrax would be attacked by a civilian crowd who supported his rivals. In the midst of this attack, the frustrated Praetorian Guard would turn on Thrax and help his own soldiers kill him. Thrax would be succeeded by his rival, Gordian III. In the early 4th century, Western Emperor Constantine the Great would march onto Rome and battle the Praetorian Guard at the Battle of Milvian Bridge. Constantine delivered a decisive defeat to the Praetorians, resulting in the death of the Eastern Roman Emperor, Maxentius. Instead of replacing the Praetorian Guard with his own troops, like many emperors before him, Constantine entirely disbanded the Guard and destroyed Castra Praetoria. Constantine brought the end of the Praetorian Guard, ending their 300-year stranglehold on Rome's politics. The Praetorian Guard began as protectors of the emperor. They ended as kingmakers, power brokers, and ultimately a danger to the very emperors they were meant to defend. In their time, they betrayed and killed roughly 15 emperors across their 300-year span. Their rise and fall is a reminder of a simple truth: power corrupts. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, be sure to like and subscribe.